Did you search for what is research philosophy? Did somebody ask you what is your research philosophy? So if you're looking to answer for these questions, you are at the right place because I'm going to explain you what is research philosophy or what is philosophy in the most simplified way. Now, philosophy have three branches. Before we talk about those three branches, I would ask you, please subscribe to my channel and also click on the bell icon so you get notification when we got new video about research methodology. Research philosophy has three branches. Those are ontology, epistemology, and axiology. But what is that philosophy? Philosophy is a Greek word which is philo and sophia. Philo and sophia. Philo means love. Sophia means wisdom. Philosophia means love of wisdom, love of knowledge. But again, there is difference between knowledge and wisdom. Somebody might have knowledge but might not have wisdom. But if somebody is wise, they might have knowledge as well. So earlier, those scholars were looking for understanding the knowledge and reaching a level where they can get the wisdom. So searching for the knowledge so they can reach the wisdom. So having the love to understand the knowledge, to seek the knowledge, to find the knowledge and reaching the wisdom. And that is what is called research. Having the love of wisdom is philo and Sophie. Now, as I mentioned, that has three branches. One is ontology, one is epistemology, and one is axiology. Let's talk about those three branches one by one. But before that, subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon so you can get notified. And research philosophy has three branches. One is ontology, second one epistemology, and third one is axiology. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can get the notification whenever I upload a new video and when I'm going live. On this channel, we are going to talk about research methodology in the most simplified way. Also, there is a link in description where you can find the Simplified Research Proposal book and the Simplified Research Methodology book. Now let's talk about ontology. What is ontology? So the first branch of research philosophy is ontology. So what does that mean? If we break down this word ontology, it is ontos and logy. Ontos, logy. Ontos means that being existence is the knowledge exist or does the knowledge exist? Now, in that as well, we got two branches. One is realism and one is relativism. So, what does that realism and relativism means? Before that, let's look into ontology again. So, ontology means ontos, existence, and logy is study. So, the study of existence is ontology. So, the first branch in the philosophy is ontology, the study of existence. In philosophy, we were talking about the love for knowledge, love for wisdom. So if we have, or if somebody have, or if you have love for wisdom, how you are going to make sure that where the wisdom is it real or is it relative? So, what is realism and relativism means here? Realism means any object you can have is physical, which means if you do any test that it is made by plastic, if you do any experiment on it, it will give the result that yes, it is made by plastic. Anything which is in the physical world. For example, sun rises from east. That is a reality and everybody knows about it. You do an experiment on that, wake up every day early morning 5 o'clock and check where is the sun rising from east or not. It will be rising from east every morning. So that is a reality which we cannot change. That is the reality, which is one side of ontology. The other side of ontology is that reality could be based on people, different views of the people. So, for as an example, you are asking some people that what do you think about sun rises from east or not, and some people might say no, it rises from west. Some people might say yes, it rises from east. Then it, which means the reality of those people is different. Some people think is rising from east, some people think is rising from west. Even though the people who are thinking that is rise from west, it is wrong. So in reality, the actual answer, the correct answer would be that the sun rises from the east, so which is realism. If you do any experiment, it will remain same. In relativism, when we don't have a set answer, we are not talking about any physical things, physical instruments, then what is going to happen? The people are going to give different answers to that. For example, again, if I ask, that what do you think, is it going to rain today? Some people might say, oh yes, it looks like it's going to rain. Some people might say, no, it doesn't look like. But the people who believe in realism can do the experiments, can calculate the data, can collect the data and analyze the data, and they can say, yes, we are very sure that it is going to rain today, so and so time. Now, in relativism, if we think about those two of the different sides of ontology, realism is again about talking about the objects, talking about the material, and that is why it is sometimes called materialistic. So the objectivism and materialism is the branch, or is sometimes used as synonyms of realism, that there is only one reality and we cannot change it. Where in relativism, we are talking about people, we are talking about subjects, and what it says that the people, when we talk to people, when we talk to subjects, which is not objects are on one side, which is realism. When we talk to people, they can come up, they can form a new reality, they can form a new knowledge. So the study of knowledge, study of wisdom can differ from people to people, and that is where constructivism comes in, that we can construct, the people can construct knowledge in a different way. So one side of knowledge is realism, where the knowledge is real, but the other side of knowledge is relativism, where the people can change the existence of the knowledge, existence of something, that in one scenario it is different, in another scenario it is different. So this is ontology, is the first branch of philosophy, and philosophy is the love for wisdom, love to seek wisdom. Somebody, or you want to seek wisdom, you want to achieve knowledge, you want to find knowledge, and you want to find wisdom. Ontology is the first branch to understand. If you want to seek wisdom, then what will be the existence of that study? So existence of study, are you going to study objects or are you going to study subjects? That is the main principle of it. The ontology is objects or subject. But some of you might come up with the idea, let's study objects and let's study subjects as well. So subjects, when we study subject, in a very quick overview, obviously we are going to talk about qualitative and quantitative in another video. very quickly, when we talk about object, it goes towards quantitative because we are talking about numbers. When we are calculating the time, what time sun is rising, when we are calculating the degree, from which degree the sun is rising every day, maybe in winters, in summers, or in autumn, and or any other weather. And when we are talking about people, we are talking about the qualitative. We are talking about the quality of their knowledge that they are coming up. They are giving you the data which is related with the quality. So from here we can decide that if we are going for objectivism, that is what we are going to do, lab experiments specifically on objects. But if we are going for relativism, where we can relate understanding of one person to another person to another person to another person, that is qualitative data. So with that, when you understand about ontology, with that you can have a better understanding about, okay, your research is going to be qualitative, your research is going to be quantitative. Mainly in social science, most of the research are qualitative, but there are possibilities that research could be mixed method where you use qualitative and quantitative both. So before we talk about the series is all about simplified research methodology, the most simplified research methodology on the earth. And that is based on my book, which is Simplified Research Proposal and Simplified Research Methodology. The description of those books, the links has been given in the description of this video. Now, if you are on this video, which is possible that you might be looking for the meanings of research philosophy, ontology, epistemology, and axiology, and why those all the heavy words are there. Now, as I mentioned in the philosophy video, that those words either come from Greek or comes from Latin. So from those two languages, the research philosophy has three branches. One is ontology, the second one is epistemology, and the third one is axiology. So in this video, we are going to talk about epistemology. So again, let's break it down, epistemology. But before we break it down, epistemology, I would like to request you, please subscribe to this channel and click the bell icon so you can get the notification when I go live and when I upload a new video for you. So if you are writing a research proposal, or you're writing your dissertation, or maybe a research paper, it is essential to understand that you know what is your research philosophy. That is the question your supervisor might be asking, and that is the question your examiner will be asking, and that is the question if you are writing a journal article, journal paper, then your reviewer will be asking as well. So what is your research philosophy? Now, epistemology is a word that comes from Greek language, which is combination of two words, episteme, which is the synonym of knowledge, and logy is study. In a combination, jointly it becomes the study of knowledge. Now, as in philosophy, we talked about that philosophy, the meaning of philo and sophia, which is love for wisdom. In the ontology, which is ontos, and logy, the study of existence, the where the knowledge exists. Is it in the objects or is it in the subject? Is it real or is it relativist? So real is related with object, and relativist is related with the subject, the people, the objects and the people, the material world and the physical world. So in that, if we talk about epistemology, epistemology means the study of knowledge. So with the philosophy, the three branches, the first one, ontology. In the ontology, we try to understand where knowledge exists. Should we go for the objectivism? Should we go for the experiments? Or should we go for subjectivism, should we ask people what is that knowledge about? So the question you might ask that, okay, what do you think about that? What is the best methodology in the project management? And those people will tell you that these are the best methodology in the project management. Or on the other side, if you go for objectivism, you go and apply the project management methodologies and you try to understand which methodology is working best. It is possible that you come up with a combination of both, which is again, objectivism is related with quantitative and subjectivism is related with qualitative. So you combine those two of those methodologies and come up with a mixed method approach. But before that, before you combine all that, we have to understand epistemology, the knowledge, the study of knowledge. In that, we got three main elements, which is positivism. Positivism means that we are positive, we are 100% sure that this is the truth, this is the knowledge, this is the wisdom. We are 100% sure about it, that this is going to remain same. So for example, if I take this example, this remote control is made by plastic. That is one thing. So whatever experiment we do on it, it will say that yes, it is plastic. The composition of the material is plastic. If I press the button of this remote, I know for certain that will be the action I'm taking, and that will be the result of that action. That if I press the power button, it will either turn on the TV or turn off the TV. So it is for sure that we know that we are positive that this is the result. The second one is constructivism. Constructivism means that knowledge is jointly created. It's a co-creation of human being. The human beings come together and they will discuss about something and they will create the knowledge. Constructivism, that it can be built. It's not the positive knowledge like the remote control. It can be built by the humans based on different contexts, different scenario. Constructivism, constructing the knowledge brick by brick, adding layers to the knowledge. So one is positivism, which is related with the object, which is related with the material world. One is constructivism, which is related with the subject, which is related with the people who are going to construct the knowledge. Now the third one is pragmatism. Now when the pragmatism word is there, so whenever you come across with the pragmatism, what I want you to remember is, think about a pregnant woman, that somebody is pregnant, which means that one physical body holding another body inside them, which means there are two entities in it. So pragmatism means simply using positivism and constructivism together, that you are not sure that, or you are not 100% positive that this is the answer to some question, or this is the answer to a question, and for that you are going to use constructivism, where you are going to use subjects, which means the people, to ask the question that this is the result, that it is showing that this is made by plastic, but I'm not 100% sure about it. What do you think about it? What do you think? Is it plastic, or does it have some kind of metal in it? It's not 100% plastic. It has some other material composition in it. So when you are not sure 100%, you go and ask people. That is what called pragmatism. When you have one type of experiment, or one type of the epistemology's stance, that okay, you are using positivism, but if the result is not 100%, then you will be going for constructivism, asking people, and that will become pragmatism when you are using two. So in that case, we can also say, like, positivism is more about the numbers, which is quantitative, and at the same time constructivism is more about the data, which is the people who are going to give their understanding, their knowledge, which is the qualitative data. So quantitative on positivism, qualitative on constructivism, same like when what we have in ontology. In realism we have quantitative, in relativism we have qualitative, and in pragmatism here, because we are using qualitative and quantitative both, which is the mixed method approach. So positivism, constructivism, and pragmatism. Now if we align those with the realism, positivism is part of realism. If we align relativism, constructivism is part of relativism. And then pragmatism if we are using both of them. So epistemology, now this is the second branch of research methodology. Again, before we talk about the next one, which is axiology, I would request you to please subscribe to the channel, and at the same time click the bell icon. It takes only 1 second for you guys, but at the same time it is going to help a lot for this channel to maximize the reach, and at the same time to come back with the better and better videos for you guys. Did somebody ask you what is your research philosophy? Did somebody ask you what is your philosophical stance? If you are writing a research proposal, if you are writing a dissertation, or you're writing a PhD thesis or a journal paper, this is the normal question the people like your examiner, your supervisor, or your reviewer will ask. Now, that is why we came up with the Simplified Research Methodology series, and in that we got 2 books which is the link is given in the description. In this video, we are going to talk about axiology. The earlier videos, we have already talked about the meaning of research philosophy and how does that apply to your research. Also, we have talked about ontology, epistemology, and this is the third branch of research philosophy, which is axiology. So in a nutshell, research philosophy, which is love for wisdom. If you are searching for knowledge, you are searching for wisdom, you have to go through with the 3 branches and pick your choices in those 3 branches. So the first one is ontology, the second one is epistemology, and the third one is axiology. Now, before we start talking about axiology, I would like to ask you to subscribe to this channel and click the bell icon so you get the notification whenever I upload a new video or whenever I'm going live on this channel. Now, axiology is again a Greek word. The research philosophy comes from the Greek language. The word philosophy, which is philo and sophia, that is love for wisdom. The second one is ontology, which is ontos and logy. So the third one is epistemology, which is episteme and logy. So over here we got axiology. In that, logy is the common word. Logy means the study. Now in ontology, ontos, epistemology, episteme, and axiology is exos. Those are 3 Greek words combined with logy. To understand ontology and epistemology, there are 2 other videos. The link is given up here, so you can just click on the link and you can watch those videos. That is also available in this playlist. Now, if you have subscribed to the channel, thank you very much. If you haven't, I would still ask, please subscribe to the channel. Now, axiology is a combination of 2 words, axios and the logy. Axios means the value, what value you are putting in the research, what value that research will provide. So the value adding in the research itself or in the research process. The study of value, how the study will provide value, or what your value, your value as a researcher will go into the study. Now that is possible. Now you might be thinking, what is your value? What value you can put in the research methodology or in the research? Now it is possible that you are writing a research based on an organization where you are working. So many people does that when you are working in the industry, you pick an industry or a sector or the organization itself to do your research. Now, in that case, since you had experience on that organization, or sometime you come up with a topic that is related with the experience you had in that particular industry, sector, or the organization, so possible that you might be biased on your research. You might be biased to come up with the results of the research, or you might be biased that this is going to be the outcome of the research. Now, that bias is also related with that value you are putting. So, which means that when you are biased on one side, what is the value, your own value you are putting into it? So for as an example, you are researching on project management, and you are trying to identify which is the best methodology, project management methodology that is going to work in construction project, and you're working in a construction industry, a construction organization, and you are a project manager there. So which means you have already tried some of the methodologies and now you already know the outcome, but to disseminate your understanding and what you have learned, your knowledge or your experience, you need to write a research paper. But before writing the research paper, you already know what is the best methodology. So which means it is possible that even though you go for literature review or you go for questionnaire and interviews later, you are still biased because you think that what you know is the best methodology. So you might try to manipulate with the data, or you might try to not manipulate, maybe might try to divert the outcome towards the methodology you know. So which means you are biased. So your value, your own understanding, your own knowledge is guiding your research, is your knowledge is navigating towards the desired outcome. So which means you are putting your own value into it. But in many of the research, what we try to do is we try to make it value free. Now there are three different elements in axiology, which is value free, value laden, and pragmatic. Now in value free, that researcher is standing outside the research scope and just coming up with the outcome, whatever literature is saying, whatever the people is saying based on the questionnaire, the quantitative, or the interviews, which is qualitative. Now, based on the people understanding, which is again the constructive knowledge, based on the sometimes if you are doing experiment on something, then it could be realism. Based on if you are asking people, then it could be relativism. So based on all those, are you putting your own value? Are you manipulating the data? Are you navigating your own the outcome? Are you navigating towards your own outcome which you already desired, which you already think that this is the right one? So the value free, that you are standing outside, and whatever literature, whatever the people is saying, or whatever experiment you are doing, the data is coming out, you are just presenting the data as it is, that you are not modifying it, you are not putting your own observation into it, you are not putting your own values into it. But on the other side, the value laden is that yes, you are putting your own values, you are observing, and you are giving your own understanding based on your own experience, and you are when you are writing about the main findings, or when you're writing about the conclusion or all that, you are providing your own analysis, which is value laden. Now in the social science, or nowadays, most of the research are value laden because there are so many different type of biases. Even though if you talk about the experiment, based on the experiment, for example, you are doing an experiment to identify the, let's suppose, coronavirus, that what type of medicine is going to work on coronavirus. Now, when you start your experiment, what happened in that case? You already have knowledge and understanding of that. These could be the medicines, or these could be the drugs that can work on coronavirus. So, which means you already have understanding and knowledge about it, and your decision could be biased based on your own understanding and knowledge before you start doing the experiment. And you use those those drugs or those medicines to test on the coronavirus. So that is possible that you was already biased. In the other setting, when you are working on literature review or systematic literature review, then it is possible that the outcome of your literature review is biased based on your understanding and knowledge. So most likely it is possible that is going to be value laden. Now, pragmatism, where again, pragmatism is combination of both of them, same like the combination of in your epistemology, your combination of objectivism and subjectivism, your combination of realism and relativism as well. So pragmatism is mainly that you are value free, but it is possible that sometimes you put your value into it. It is possible when you're analyzing the data, when you are writing the results, when you are observing the experiment, you are putting your own value. So that is means if you are putting your value, which means your research could be biased as well. So this is axiology in a nutshell, and these three branches of research philosophy are very important to understand, and most of the researchers work on the research philosophy. But the problem with this is, more you read about all these, much confused you sometimes become. So that is why we came up with the Simplified Research Methodology series, and there is a book which is Simplified Research Proposal, which is in the description. The link is given there. So feel free to read that book. Simplified Research Methodology is available for free download. And I will come back to you with more terminologies in the research methodology, and we will try to make it more and more simplified. And we will talk about those elements in ontology, epistemology, and axiology in bit more detail, so you can understand in much better way. Till then, happy researching. Are you for real? Is it